Hello, I'm Gary Stearman. And along with me, Bob Ulrich, and we're the Prophecy Watchers. Speaking of prophecy, and we have a lot to share with you today. Before that, I just want to talk a little about the prophecy that I go back to very, very often, Zechariah chapter 12. It is so current, so amazingly current when you look at ISIS in Northwest Africa, Northern Africa, Egypt, Central Africa, moving up into Lebanon, lapsing over into Turkey, Iraq, moving eastward to Iran. All of the forces of ISIS, and ISIS is nothing more or less than a grand attempt at creating a global caliphate. You see ISIS developing. Right now it's fragmented, but it's coming together to form a whole. And right exactly in the middle of that whole operation, we find Zechariah 12, "Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about when they shall be in siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem." And that's exactly what's happened. You have ISIS all around Jerusalem. They are closing the gap slowly but surely, and they have their eye on Israel. They openly say, we're going to destroy Israel. We're going to take Israel and then the world, a global caliphate. Things are happening fast, and that's why we feel a sense of urgency about bringing you the message of Bible prophecy. And on that note, we are soon going to have the facilities complete that we need to bring you a weekly, even a daily update on Bible prophecy. And Bob, you've got some wonderful news to share on that ground.
Well, we do. You know, it's only been 133 days since we launched this ministry. For us to have a building, a television studio, a guest suite for the guests who come in from out of town, a warehouse, a shipping facility, everything under one roof, a full, beautiful kitchen for our guests, is a little bit shocking to us that the Lord has moved so quickly on our behalf. But this building that we purchased is an answer to prayer. I jokingly said to the seller of the building last week that God built this for us in 1997, and he was just renting it temporarily. But we moved in last Friday, and it was exciting. Gary and I and Gary's wife, Doris, we just sat there in this open space with literally nothing there and looked at each other like God has given us this building. And now what are we going to do with it? There is an urgency on our part to get back to TV quickly. In fact, we're going to make some announcements today that I know are going to make a lot of people happy because we're going back on TV, Gary.
And we need to do that, Bob. We need to reach as many people as possible with the message of Bible prophecy from a traditional perspective. And I'm talking about systematic theology, grammatical, historical exegesis of the Bible, prophetic exposition that you can depend on. And we have such an urgency about doing this because things are happening very quickly, Bob.
Well, they are. And right now, today, it's February 1st. By February 28th, we're going to be back on television. On March 1st, we're going to be back on DirecTV. We're going to be back on the Dish Network. We're going to be back on the Glory Star satellite. We're going to be aired on KVTN in Little Rock. We're going to be aired on WLLA up in Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo, Michigan. We're going to be aired on WGGN in Castalia, Ohio. A lot of people watching today, I know, have watched us in the past on those TV stations. There are 3 or 4 other stations down in Tampa, down in Albuquerque, out in Alaska. There's a few places that we're still awaiting contracts on. But our television network is literally back. We've signed contracts, and by another 28 days, we'll be back on television.
And here's another note about that. We're trusting the Lord to provide for us the means that we need to go on television and to stay on television. And, that's going to be an expensive operation, Bob, but we're doing it by faith. And that's what I really want you to know.
Well, we've got to this point by using your Time Travelers of the Bible book as a free gift for a donation of any amount. And that has carried us all the way through where we are today. And we've got plans to move forward aggressively with a new offer. The Time Travelers offer has expired, and we've got something new in the wings. Starting a ministry it's a big deal. People don't realize, the amount of expense that you go through. In fact, when we started this ministry 4 or 5 months ago, we knew it would be a challenge, and we decided to actually forego any compensation ourselves until we got back on television. And here we are 5 months later, trusting the Lord, just wondering, well, how are we going to survive? But you know what? The Lord has been watching and paying close attention to what we do. The Bible says that he sees the intents and the motivations of the heart. And something happened here just recently that is so shocking that I have to kind of get through this emotionally. Someone has given us and promised us a $100,000 matching gift to put us back on television.
And Bob used the term shocking, and that is not an overstatement, because someone has stepped up by faith and said, I believe in what you're doing, and I want to help you. Now, Bob, explain what you mean by a $100,000 matching gift.
Well, it's real simple. For every dollar that you give, he's matching it with another dollar. For every $10, he matches it with $10. For every $100, it's a $100 matching gift. And he wants to see his money go as far as possible. So we want to turn that $100,000 gift into $200,000. Help us acquire this building, help us go back on television. When you start talking about going on some of the bigger networks, you're talking about $30,000 or $40,000 a month just to be on the air on some of these networks. We're not quite there yet. We're starting a little bit smaller, growing a little smaller. But this matching gift is a blessing from the Lord.
Now, up to this point, and we want to thank you all so very much for helping us. We've offered my book, Time Travelers, the Bible, for your gift of any amount to Prophecy Watchers. And that's been a wonderful thing. We, however, announced in our last get-together that this offer was time-limited. We're coming to the end of that, but we have a new offer for you, and that's exciting in and of itself. Bob, tell them about it.
Well, it's the work of genius. I wish I could have taken credit for it, but I can't. It came at its suggestion from Daniel Wright, who is the tour organizer of our trip to Israel. Now, I've never been to Israel, and I've got to tell you, it's only 41 days away right now, and I'm looking to set my feet in the old city. I can't wait to see the Garden Tomb and the Mount of Olives, to go up to the top of Masada. I mean, this is a dream come true for me and for my wife. We're going there together. We're going to have Avi Lipkin with us. We're going to have Aaron Lipkin with us. We're going to have Daniel Wright with us. You and your wife, Doris, are going to be with us. And it makes us kind of sad that we're going with 50 people. Wouldn't it be great if we could go with 5,000 people or 50,000 people? And as we began to think about this and think about how we're going to pay to go back on television, how we're going to pay for this building, Daniel came up with an idea, and he said, Bob, listen to me. We need to shoot a video of our trip to Jerusalem, of our trip to Israel, and wherever we go, we'll put this on video and make this available to everyone. So we would like all of you to come to Israel with us, to join us in Jerusalem. And I'm sitting here holding a DVD that's not yet made because we haven't left for Israel yet.
We have the cover.
And look at the cover. Join us in Jerusalem. And what we're here to tell you today is help us get back on television. Help us pay for this building and the studio we've just acquired, all the furniture necessary, all of the expenses necessary to launch this ministry. We're just a month away. What is going to be on this DVD, Gary? Do you have any idea?
Who knows?
Well, we really don't know.
We don't know at this point, except that it will be a kind of a daily log of our journeys. And it hasn't happened yet, so we can't tell you what that daily log's going to look like. It'll be as much of a surprise to us as it is to you, but it's going to be good. And I hope that we come back with some moments that are poignant, moving. Perhaps some of the things we do will be eye-opening. I hope so, because so much is happening right now. And in fact, with Avi Lipkin doing what he's doing in the Knesset and his Bible block party, and of course we'll be sort of hearing from him while we're there. Who knows? It could be fascinating, Bob, what we find out.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's going to be good. Because with Avi there, we're going to have insider information. We're going to go places and see things you don't see with normal tour groups. We're going to have interviews. You're going to hear from the tour operators, the people presenting the information from the different sites we go to. I'm sure you're going to have a couple of things to say, and I know Daniel, who's been to Israel many times and knows the land like the back of his hand, is going to have plenty to say too. Probably not going to be produced for a couple months after we return from Israel. So this is something you can help us with today, but understand it'll probably be a good 3 months before this is actually produced and choreographed and put into duplication. And we're hoping by then that we're able to have literally thousands of people join us in Jerusalem.
Now, I want to change the subject slightly and want to make an announcement. We do, and we are so grateful for those of you who have ordered books from Prophecy Watchers. Bob and his wife, Chris, have really put a lot into making certain that you get what you order and you get it quickly. But Chrissy wants to make an announcement, and I'll let you make the announcement for her about shipping to our foreign friends. Just a word there about what it costs to ship things overseas.
Yeah, shipping internationally, shipping this Join Us in Jerusalem DVD, just the postage alone is probably $20 or more. So just keep that in mind when you make a donation. We want everyone to be involved. We don't want to leave anyone behind. We really want to make this something a special, a once-in-a-lifetime offer, something that I think you're not going to find anywhere else.
And Bob, we hope to be on the cutting edge of prophetic biblical interpretation. I'll have daily prophetic updates, as I've had now for so many years in the past. We're going to be doing special productions with great guests like Bill Salas, L.A. Marzulli, many, many others. And we're going to present to you cutting edge news, analysis of Bible prophecy. And I want to stress, from the perspective of systematic theology. We're not going to go out on some limb and speculate about this, that, or the other thing, or set a date, or move into numerology or some bizarre thing like that. We believe in a traditional, well-grounded prophetic exposition, and we can't wait to bring that to you from our new studios.
We're almost back.
We're almost back.
Give us another 30 days, and we'll be back in your family room, back on your television screens with our daily updates, with our weekly programs. We've already got our first 8 guests lined up with some really, really exciting programming. March 1st, back on DirecTV. 50 million people between DirecTV, the Dish Network, almost 50 million viewers. The Glory Star satellite covers 75% of the entire world. And we're going to be there in 30 days sharing the good news of Jesus' soon return.
And when Bob says soon, I can only agree with that. I mean, things are happening in amazing ways. I don't have to tell our audience. We're talking to people, I think, who read the Bible, who study prophecy. We want to be an encouragement to you. I guess that's the bottom line. Thanks so much for helping us. Bob, do you have anything else before
I'd like to thank everyone for helping. I mean, to me, it's just mind-blowing that in 133 days, we're almost back on television, and it could only be the hand of the Lord at work.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I wanted to say one thing to everybody on the way out today. Thanks so much. May the Lord bless you all, and keep watching, everybody.